In this video, Myron explains what's going on with why that Sneeko and his entire squad got banned from the Miami club scene, lounge scene, restaurant scene.
Who the Myron Gaines is. Look, I am of the firm belief that cancel culture, progressivism, being politically correct, these are some of the foundations that have led to the degradation of this country. Okay? People say all the time, Myron, do you have to do Robin Slits? Myron, do you need to talk about women? Myron, do you need to make fun of black people? Myron, do you need to make fun of Indians?
Thank you. Come again.
Myron, do you need to make fun of Muslims?
Allahu Akbar!
Sir, the answer to that is
Yep.
absolutely. Because you need people like me on the front lines saying wild shit to keep freedom of speech going. Okay? So people get offended, they get mad. Oh, bro, oh, you're a Nazi or whatever. Whatever, bro. Like, I've gotten to a point now where they're going to call you a Nazi no matter what you do. They're going to call you misogynist or racist, whatever, no matter what you do, bro. Okay? Because the problem is that when someone calls you a Nazi or a racist or a misogynist, anti-Semite, you got to understand that that person is operating from a subjective perspective. What do I mean by this? What I mean by this is, to one person, you're just keeping it real from a biological standpoint. To another person, you're a misogynist and you hate women. Everybody's interpretation of where the line is when it comes to what someone can be labeled as is different, okay? Obviously, progressives and leftists have a very low tolerance for any type of information that tends to err on the side of reality. For example, if I say something like, women are physically inferior to men, anyone comments that would be like, that's right. But there's a bunch of progressives out there that will say, well, that's problematic that you would say that, right? Their tolerance to the truth is very low, which is why we're in this clown world, by the way, okay? You can't reason with people that think that there's 99 genders. You can't reason with people that can't even decide what they want to eat for lunch, but they want to call themselves a strong, independent woman. You can't reason with people that tell you, hey, for you to call out the fact that we control everything, we're going to ban you to show that we don't control everything. Like, what? Like, bro, what the? Like, and I'm tired of like putting on a blindfold to it, right? I'm tired of putting a blindfold onto it. I'm calling it like it is. This is why I've been able to get popular. All I'm doing is saying what all of us are thinking, right? It's anti-Semitic for you to say that we control everything. Meanwhile, niggas cancel you off everywhere. Like, bro, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, bro. Niggas want to cry and complain because we're in a Sprinter van listening to some music. Then the niggas will go ahead and turn around and play Who I Smoke, a song about a bunch of teenagers that got killed. Then they'll play Pop Smoke. Grrr, bow. Talking about shooting his ops and shit like that. Like, bro, the hypocrisy is absolutely nuts. And what makes this even funnier is these niggas just got done doing a genocide, bro. What? Like, are we supposed to forget that for the past like 2+ years, you guys have been bombing the Gaza Strip to oblivion? Right now, we got 70,000 confirmed dead people, with the majority of them being civilians. And this is before we've even pulled all the bodies out of the rubble or accounted for all the people that got vaporized from the bombing. Right? When this is all said and done, and they go in there and they get the official count, it's going to be over 100,000, chat. So I find it incredibly that in one breath, these people will sit there and say, these guys are playing an anti-Semitic song. This is up. But then on the other hand, these same will sit there and look you in the face and say Israel has the right to defend themselves as they're bombing and killing children every day. And quite frankly, if I got to be the guy to fall on the sword and say this is bullshit, oh well. Oh well. I'm not apologizing for shit. You guys just got done doing a genocide. And don't let anybody fool you. Most people are Zionists. Most of them are. Not all. We've had some great allies in the fight calling out this bullshit. Couple names come to mind. Norman Finkelstein, Dave Smith, Max Blumenthal. A lot of genocide researchers that are Israeli and, by the way, that have called this bullshit out, which I have an enormous amount of respect for them because they get even more hate because they're looked at as traitors, but they're standing up for what's right. So let me make this clear. This isn't like a we hate all situation. No. But we do have to have a very uncomfortable conversation that the state of Israel just got done doing a genocide, but they're pushing out all this like counter Hezbollah about like, look at these guys at a club playing a song that's really offensive. And then in the same breath, bombing and killing a bunch of kids. We ain't kill nobody. You guys did though. We don't got no bloods on our hand, but you guys do. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not going to bite my tongue on this wild discrepancy and hypocrisy. Jamming out to a song and having fun with the bros does not rise to the level of killing innocent kids at all. And the fact that they even have the gall to make this a big issue goes to show you guys the hubris, the entitlement, and most importantly, the control. Because you can only behave like this with this wild hypocrisy if you have control. If you don't have control, you can't do nothing. But the fact that you can go ahead and get people banned from a bunch of establishments because of a song, meanwhile, you're supporting a genocidal country, goes to show what the I've been telling you guys for years now at this point, which got me demonetized, which got me banned on a bunch of platforms, which is simply this. We have an uneven power structure in the United States where a small minority of people have an enormous amount of power, influence, and resources in the United States, and that power and resources isn't always pushed to further the interests of the United States. Rather, it's used to push the interests of a foreign country that's involved in a bunch of renegade, rogue military operations all across the Middle East and all across the world for that matter. And that's the part that everyone gets mad at. Don't want to sit here and call me a while they're bombing kids. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then to make it even crazier, they're paying influencers $7,000 to push out the Hezbollah.
I got my $7,000. I don't give a shit about dead kids. I got my $7,000. I love getting paychecks from Zionists.
So when I bring attention to this, people get all mad and butthurt and all this other shit, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And I'd be happy to debate anyone on this topic. I understand that my name was brought up multiple times during PBD's podcast with Adam and them. Adam, Patrick, you guys know I like both of you. We could disagree on Israel. We could disagree on foreign policy, interventionism while not participating in interventionism. I am firmly against supporting the state of Israel. I'm firmly against war with Iran. I'm firmly against regime change. But if you guys want to sit down and have a discussion as to how I arrived at my belief system as to why the control of the United States has been hijacked by a foreign nation and why this is problematic for us in the long term, I'd be happy to have that discussion. This didn't come out of nowhere. Okay? This didn't come out of nowhere. This was completely self-imposed by bad behavior. Okay? Completely self-imposed by bad behavior. So if you guys want to go ahead and have that discussion, I'd be happy to. Because so few people are willing to be critical of not just this state, but the mindset of this elitism, of this chosen people of, oh, we can do X, Y, Z while the rest of you guys are a bunch of stupid. That's the truth. That's the ugly truth, bro. That is why they can carpet bomb Gaza, kill people all across the West Bank, cause problems all across the Middle East, and not give a about it. You don't just wake up one day and say, yeah, let me just bomb a bunch of kids in Palestine. No. That comes from a deep-rooted belief that your life matters more than theirs. Simply put. And anyone that doesn't believe me, you can go ahead and look at what's going on in the Middle East. They absolutely believe that their life matters more than everybody else's. It's incredible that they have these precise missiles and drones that can pinpoint kill someone like they did with Hassan Nasrallah or like they did with leaders of Hamas. Ismail Haniyeh is one, for example. They've targeted his room specifically and blew that shit up and killed only him and his bodyguard. Where's that precision for Gaza? You guys can do a pager attack where there's a bunch of bombs and walkie-talkies and other old forms of communication, beepers, walkie-talkies, old cell phones, blew them shits up remotely. They had the explosives in these devices for damn near 10 years. So against your enemies, who are far more powerful than Hamas, by the way, you're able to use these sophisticated intelligence operations where you're precisely killing members of the opposing militia. But when it comes to Gaza, let's just bomb these niggas.